One of the most important books I've read in my life is called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. And it impacted me in such a profound way. It is one of the turning points that gave me the confidence to begin and to launch Entheos. And really, his question became, instead of looking at all the challenges, look for the opportunities and have courage. In fact, he found that there are really 3 things that give people meaning in their life. And those 3 things are having purpose in your work, finding love, and being able to find courage in a really horrible or scary situation. So it's having purpose, love, and courage. I just wanted to share this short video clip of what inspired me from Viktor Frankl. It's not a typical business video. It goes beyond business, where you can incorporate this philosophy not just in your business, but in your entire life.
What I can say about the lesson I took home from Auschwitz and Achau and so forth, let me prefer to speak in a more personally detached way by referring to the absolutely parallel experiences and experience that people had in prisoner war camps. The literature, psychiatric literature in the field of psychiatry of POW camps shows, independently from each other, that psychiatrists found out that those inmates or prisoners were most likely to survive the camp period. Those, I say, who were orientated toward a future, orientated for becoming free again in the future, and most importantly, oriented to a meaning that they had to fulfill in the future, a task that they had to complete in the future, and or to be reunited with their beloved people in the future again. Let me just recount an incident that happened to me in one of my own concentration camps. I was confronted within a couple of days with 2 people, 2 comrades, the one of whom I knew that they are prone to suicide. Now what happened? I asked both why they wished to commit suicide, to take their lives, and without knowing independently from one another, they told me, "See, doctor, I've nothing to expect from my life anymore." And you know what I improvisingly asked them? Now listen, isn't it conceivable that instead life expects something from you? And then it turned out that one of them was expected by his own daughter, whom he loved above all. In the United States, she had already succeeded in emigrating. And the other then frankly told me and confessed that there was a series of books that he had written and or edited in the field of geography, it was, as far as I remember, and he wanted to complete this series of books. And at that moment there was something like a Copernican reversal. Suddenly the scenery had turned 180 degrees around. Suddenly they saw they have to do something for the world and not waiting until the judgment is issued, death or survival. But these very people had the highest chances to survive under equal circumstances, of course. What I mean is that millions had to die in the concentration camps, particularly in Auschwitz, as you might know, and millions and hundred thousands of them were certainly oriented toward a meaning, if for no other meaning, in religious terms, and they had to die, as they would have said, Kiddush Hashem, for the glorification of God, out of their own beliefs in the gas chambers.
So even at the moment of death, they were able to take meaning out of that moment of death.
Exactly. You see, there is what I'm used to calling, when speaking to my students, as the tragic triad of human existence, consisting of pain, death, and guilt. Nobody is spared suffering from diseases, pain. No one of us human beings can escape death finally. And there is no one who could keep himself free from guilt. It is not possible. But always, as I put it before, always suffering, tragedy can be turned into a triumph, into a human achievement. And as to death, it could well serve as an incentive to responsible action. Because unless we were mortal, imagine if we were immortal, then we could postpone everything. There were no hurry. There were no need to do something right now. But there is a wonderful word of an author who has not written but said it about 2,000 years ago. You find it in the Bible. It is Hillel, Hillel, who once said, "If I'm not doing it, who will do it? If I'm not doing it right now, when shall I do it? But if I'm doing it only for my own sake, what am I?" Which means no really human being. Because a human being is not someone, as psychotherapeutic systems depict the human being. He is not someone that is concerned primarily and originally with complexes, conditions, conflicts, and problems going on within his psychological system, intrapsychically, as it were. But normally, fundamentally, originally, primarily, basically, any human being is concerned with something out there in the world, is concerned with someone out there in the world, a work to do, a job to complete, a task, a meaning, a mission in life waiting for him exclusively to be materialized, to be actualized by him and by no other person. Right now, who else if not he? And finally, this he doesn't do for himself, for his tranquility, for his discharge of tensions, for his inner equilibrium, for getting rid of the stimuli or of the superego which is dissatisfied, or obeying the father image. But he's doing it for the sake of a cause to serve, or another person to love, and never for himself only. Thus, this is what man can do. And imagine if he were not mortal, then he could postpone everything. There would not be the 1/3, the 2/3 of Hillel's dictum. There would not be sense in the formulation when, if not now, because he's immortal.